Hey everybody, Angie Woods, Dog Psychology 101. Today we are going to talk about how to stop a charging dog, part 2. So part 1 has been a very popular video because it's a pretty big problem. Whether you live in a rural area or a subdivision particularly, sometimes dogs get out or people let them out. And I truly believe that it is your God-given right to walk down the neighborhood street or any street you so choose and not be attacked or accosted by a dog. So you and your dog can enjoy a walk safely. So I have some new ideas for you. Well, they're not really new, but I'm going to share them with you newly. So I am not a big fan of pepper sprays, mace, or anything like that. Number one, I'm sitting outside on a beautiful day and there is a breeze blowing in my face. And so if these things are aerosolized, they're going to spray you, your dog, and everybody around you. The second thing would be is that I don't want to hurt the dog. I'm not mad at the dog for being out. I'm not mad at the dog for trying to bite my dog or bite me. I'm mad at the human who's let the dog out. So we want to take some actions that's going to stop the dog or dogs and send them back home and keep us safe at the same time. So I have some ideas. It may seem a little radical for some of you, but actually for me it's much more gentle than spraying a dog, kicking a dog, stabbing a dog, or hurting a dog. It's all about just getting out safely and going home, so then you can call the proper authorities if necessary, if the situation warrants. So I have a few ideas about this. So the first thing I'd like to introduce you to, and you can find these on Amazon. We'll put a link down below for you guys, but this is called a Taser Wand. So you can see it's not your typical taser that you may be accustomed to seeing, because those are normally handheld and small. I don't want my hand that close to a dog who's trying to hurt me or my dogs. So the Taser Wand is, I'd say, a little better than 12 inches, probably 14 or 15 inches long. They come in different prices, different lengths, and just look for one that's got really good reviews, but we'll share the link that I've ordered. There's also one, this is not the case, but there's one that actually has 2 bars down the side. And what that is meant for is if someone, we'd hate to think that someone may want to try to hurt us in the middle of one of these situations, but there's 2 little bars that actually would electrify in case someone tried to grab this wand from you. So I think that's handy. I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm a peacemaker, but we have the right to defend ourselves. And so this one is rechargeable, which I love. You know, it comes with a handy dandy little cord. And many of these are rechargeable. We don't need to buy batteries and have to replace those a lot, especially those of us who love Mother Earth. We want to use as little of disposable things as possible. So, Taser Wand. Okay. Another choice, this one to me, again, I feel like I would have to get too close to the dog, but it does have a little bit of length to it. This is actually kind of a Taser Pin, if you will. I'm going to demonstrate for you guys a little bit. You see, it's very easy. It just turns on here with a switch, and we'll talk more about when to have it on and when to have it off in a moment. It's very simple. You touch this little button and we're going to get a little action. Right? Now, we can actually teach our dogs that this is not a scary thing just by repetition and controlling the reaction. They can learn just to ignore it. I don't like to desensitize dogs. That means forced compliance sometimes, but this is a way of, we'll use the word desensitize just to get them accustomed to the sound, for them to understand that I'm not going to be hurt when I hear this sound. If you guys have watched much of my information, you've probably heard of the parking spot game. So I have 8 games that I share with people to learn skills, and so your dog can also learn skills. So one of them is the parking spot, where your dog is literally tucked in behind your booty in a follower protected position. And then I start practicing turning it on while they stay back there. Just pulse it, turn it on, stay back there. If they do it positively, you certainly could share a treat there if they're a food motivated boy or girl. But you want to get your dog accustomed to just hearing this obnoxious sound, because this will keep another animal away where other things will not. Okay? All right, so that is one version. The third one I want to show you, this one is really effective. It's just kind of big and bulky. If you're only walking one dog, I know this looks radical, doesn't it? Do you think this would keep someone off of you or a dog? So this can actually, if you're older, it's awesome because you can actually use it as a cane. This slides where we can make it longer and shorter. Get it to, Miss Angie can get it to work properly. So we can lengthen it, we can shorten it, okay? And this one's a little scary even to look at. I mean, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these little guys. Here, the function's a little bit different. We're going to turn it on. Okay, one thing it has is a flashlight, so I kind of like that. We could use a flashlight. And then here is the button under here, right? And so I'm going to show this to you. It's much louder. It's pretty scary. Very, very effective, okay? Things like this would be very useful if you had more than one dog trying to accost you. Gives you much more length. You can use it in assistance to walking, and it's kind of scary to look at. All right, we're looking for deterrent, not hurt. I'm going to repeat that again. The last one I'd like to show you would be, this is literally a walking hiking stick. Okay? It also has a little flashlight. Okay, it is rechargeable, and there again, you can adjust the length, and if needed, doesn't make quite as much noise. So you have some options. Okay, the cane, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, it's called a Zap Cane. It's wonderful. It was actually, I actually found this on a woman's defense site, like for women to protect themselves. So these are some other options besides having to hurt the dog, and I want you to understand that you can be kind, yet still keep a dog away from you. If you are accosted by the dog or a dog in your neighborhood, I really recommend that you do call the authorities so that they can be addressed properly. Don't go yelling and screaming at your neighbor and beating on doors. People have guns now, okay? So we don't want to get in trouble or blow our stuff. Remember our emotional fitness teachings that we talk about so much. If you are being chased by more than one dog, if you can, you really want to focus on getting your back to a car or a wall or a fence so that they can't swing around behind you, because dogs hunt in cooperation. One will come to your front, and while you are paying attention there, one is also swinging around to your back. I mentioned this in the first video, but another option, sounds a little crazy maybe, but I saw a little snippet on the news the other night of a man being attacked by 2 dogs, and he did not use this option from what I could see, but get on top of a car. You know, I mentioned this in my first video, is that when Josh was little, I had to throw him on the car and me get on the car, very pregnant with my second son, while a dog was trying to bite me. And I couldn't get away from it, unarmed. So you can always get up on vehicles, even when they're not yours. This is kind of a life or death thing sometimes, or an injury or not situation. So don't be afraid to get up on a car where the dog can't reach you. Okay? And I would always recommend walking with your phone, just so that you have it in case of an emergency. All right, so I hope this helps. You guys leave me your comments down below. Do check out right here. You can check out our first video on charging dogs. It's much more in depth about the physicality of it, I would say, and it's a little bit funny in some spots. All right, thank you everybody.